Okay, there we go. Voice is going, voice is going. Hey guys, welcome back. Someone asked me a really good question. Can we use Loki, or could, rather, a person that had wanted to approach Loki, could they use him for attacking innocent people? Could you go to Loki and ask him to hurt innocent people? Probably not. And I'm not saying that from a, we're all nice people as Lokeans point of view. Loki is a very practical god. If you just walk up to him and, oh, God forbid someone tries to force him to appear, but if you just walk up to him and you say, I want vengeance on these people because I just don't like them, then, you will either be ignored, or you might find chaos in your life. He's one of those gods that, he actually despises lies. And if you would be trying to use him as an attack dog against people, and these people totally did not have it coming, you would probably be the one to find the misery in your own life. And he's one of those gods that, people will put caveats on him, which they should. If you're like, and I'm not saying this from a judgmental place, but if you are feeling extremely angry or suicidal, or you have heavy drug use, or you have mental illness, unless Loki has approached you, he may not be one of those gods to work with, because if you already have a destructive personality and you can only see Loki as a destructive force, his energy is just going to aggravate that. Now, if Loki appeared to you and said, I can help you, I can get you out of this, and he was going to clean up your life, that is a totally different situation. And yes, regardless of where you are in life, you can work with him. But if you're at the state of life right now where you're going to use Loki as vengeance, or you're going to use him to hurt people, that's actually a very dangerous time to approach him. I usually don't tell you guys that he can be dangerous, because usually most people are not going to do anything to, trip that side. But approaching him that way would either get you ignored, or it could be very dangerous for the person involved, because Loki can be chaotic. And I'm not putting that label, lightly. He can cause pure chaos. He can cause pure chaos in the lives of those he loves. People that decide to be a thorn in his side, not that it's possible to ignore, truly annoy God. They could all squash us like a bug. But, that's when you're putting yourself in danger with Loki. If you get to the idea that you are the master and Loki's your pet, or you are over a god, or something like that, like you have power over Loki and you can contain him in a circle or make him do your bidding, you're setting yourself up for trouble. I mean, sometimes people make stupid mistakes, and they have been taught to do magic one way, and they do it not meaning any harm, and those people Loki probably won't be bad with. But if you're gonna do the stereotypical Hollywood thing of you are calling up and controlling the gods, don't mistake him for a demon. Don't mistake him for a thought form or an archetype or something else. He's a real god. He's a real god. I can't stretch that enough. And you can put yourself in serious danger with him if you're doing wrong things in his name, or you're trying to use Loki to do wrong things. You might be given an amazingly long time, and he might even forgive people that he feels are truly trying to make amends and they're just screwing up a lot. But if you're doing it from a hateful place, he will catch up with you faster than most gods. Some gods will give people very, very long time, and Loki will generally catch up with people. And I can't say what will happen. He tends to, in my experience, make the punishment fit the crime. And, you know, he can be very creative when he does. You know, it's been said, even if you're going to work with him in a loving, respectful manner and you feel called to tie up any loose ends in your life, because just because of his very nature, he tends to uncover things. So if you've been keeping a lot of secrets yet you feel drawn to him, you might want to tie up those parts of your life, or better still, come out and be honest first before you start dealing with him, because you have to be honest. If you live a lie, you're miserable. And so, you know, even in the best of times, he can bring change, a lot of unwanted change. So I would say that if you know someone, or you're thinking about approaching Loki in this dark way, I understand being angry and hurt, I understand all that, but he's a very dangerous god to approach that way. You know, there are people that will tell you some very scary stories about, you know, say in Voodoo, about the Loa, because they approached them for the same thing. They were taught, you know, they're these dark, spooky spirits and they'll help you get revenge. And they got their butt kicked. And he will do the same thing. He's not evil, but he's not a god to mess with. He's not a god to walk up and challenge. And he's not a god to think, I'm going to work with him in this dark, spooky, evil, angry manner, and it's all going to go well. If that is the only way you see Loki, I would say absolutely do not work with him until you can see him in another way. If all you see is the monster, if all you see is the evil god, or however you're seeing him, that would make you think you could approach him to hurt innocent people, that's more than likely what you're going to get. So I'm really thankful the person asked a question. I usually don't try to tell you guys stuff like that, because I don't ever want anyone scared of Loki. He's very sweet and kind usually, but he does have that side to him that if you start to fool with that energy, you will get that energy. And he believes in giving in abundance. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.